Praise God. I am so overjoyed to talk with you about tuning. In order to play guitar, we have to learn how to tune the instrument. It's really an important thing to do. And we as musicians get to do the tuning, and so it's very helpful. And even if you've never played before, we can try to learn how to tune. But first, just a little thought about music. Angels make music. They sing. They sing praise to God. And angels are pure spirits. They don't have a body, but they're singing. So it shows you that music starts with our soul, with our spirit singing inside of us. But we have the blessing of being able to actually make music physically by playing an instrument like the guitar. And tuning helps us to do that. So we're going to start with an A. Here I've got my metronome. It's going to play an A for us. We try to get that in our head by singing A, and sing it in our mind so we can hear it in our inner ear and let it resonate with us. Kind of learn what the pitch A is. Why is it important to learn A? It's important to learn A because we want to play not only ourselves and get our instrument in tune, which has been it's been constructed to be sound at those pitches, with A being focal point, and play with other instruments. So if we're playing with the piano or with a violin or whatever, they're tuning to an A. So the instruments tune to an A because they sound good, and we've learned to make music over the centuries with that. So we're tuning with an A. And the guitar, like the other instruments, has an A. So let's learn where that is. My guitar, I start with my strings. That's not an A, that's not an A, not an A, not an A. There it is. That's the A, but it's low. It's not an A. So when we have the A, let's get the A going again. Can you sing it in your head? A, A. There it is. A. Now when we find it on the guitar, it's actually way up here on the 5th fret of the 1st string. That's the actual pitch. An octave lower is here. 2 octaves lower is here on the A string in the bass. So the guitar is actually quite a low instrument, and A is the 5th string in the bass. So that's where we find the A. Now, what happens if your guitar is out of tune? Let's take the guitar over here. This little guitar is out of tune. It's all goofed up. So it should sound like this. But instead it sounds all over the place. So, well, if we're going to tune this A, this string is the A string, and it needs to be tuned to the A. We hear the pitch A. Can you sing it in your head? Here it is. A. Got a long ways to go. It's not there. So we're going to have to make it go up or down. Which is it? Well, let's learn how to tune the string first. So, righty tighty, lefty loosey. So left makes it go lower, turning it down this way. Tightening it up to the right makes it go higher. Can you hear? Lower. If you go low enough, it gets really flabby. Bring it up, higher. So we're going to find the A. Here's the A we need to find in the bass. A. So I'm going to play this, sing it in my head. It's too low. So now I'll play this. A. Is it there? It's getting closer. There's the A. We've brought it up to an A. Now, when it's been out of tune, the first thing it's going to do is slip back to where it was. It doesn't go down there all the way, but it drops down. If you let it sit there, it'll drop down quite a ways, and you got to bring it back up. Goes down again, bring it back up. So you have to do it 2 or 3 or 4 times if you're sitting there right then trying to get it in tune. This is what a piano tuner would do. That's what they do. That's their job. Bring it up until it rests in place. So it's dropped down a little bit. Now, what happens if you brought it too high? See, that's too high. If you keep tuning it up, the string will break if you go too far. So you gotta make sure you can recognize if it's too high. The string will get tighter and tighter and tighter until it snaps. So you gotta bring it back down. Let's loosen up. Now it should sit there if it's been brought up and it's gone below it, it should rest. It's sitting right on the pitch there now. We'll see how long it stays there. Alright, so we've learned how to tune A. Now we have 6 strings, so we get to do it on all of them, but we get better as we do it more, so just keep plucking along with it. So let's do the 6th string next. E. Just up a little bit. The E is the lowest string, so if it's already pretty low, it's still probably pretty close. There's the E. There's the A. Now it's kind of nice to know that interval. Here comes the bride. That kind of helps us. Here comes the bride. That works for some of the strings here. So now we've got the E in tune, we've got an A in tune. Now we'll go to the D. Too low or too high? Usually it'll be all one way or another. So here's the D. See, that's a little higher, isn't it? So we have to bring it up, so we're going to tighten it. Go to the right, we're turning it that way. If you go up too high, you gotta bring it back down. There it is again. Here comes the bride. So that helps us if you can hear that. Alright, let's make a check that our A is still in tune. See how it dropped down a little bit? So I tune it just a little bit to get it back to pitch. Remember, when you get it there, it's going to settle, it's going to go down a little bit, so you got to bring it back up. If it was too high, then it'll go higher, and you got to bring it back down. Now the next string is A. Yeah, that sounds pretty close. Let's go this one. Just a little bit low. So I'm going to tune it just a little bit. Here comes the bride. string, the next string. That's a little low. I'm gonna tune it up. Careful not to tune too much if you don't have to go very far. Because it's easy with the treble strings, just... Oh, no, too high, too high. Now this one does not work with Here Comes the Bride. That's the only string that's tuned a little differently. And now the next string is... should be higher. So here it is. I'll tune it up a little bit until it gets there. Alright, so the skill of the tuner is to hear the pitch that we need to tune it to, hear it in your mind, and then be able to tune it up or down, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, to get it to where it needs to be and settle in there. So that means you have to recognize the pitch, tune it to that pitch, and get it. And you can check it. Listen, you can make mistakes because you're just checking it and checking it and rechecking it. And the guitar goes out of tune as soon as you get it in tune. Just a little bit, so you gotta refine it. So most of the time when we're tuning, just a little bit to bring it back up or down. So here is, we're gonna play each of the strings so that you can tune your guitar and go through that process of tightening it and loosening it. And then if you want, you can keep coming back to this tape at this spot and just tune your guitar over to this instrument. That's a way of getting it. So here we go. We're going to start with the E string. That's what it sounds like. Here's an E. Get that in your mind. All right, now I'm going to keep playing it while you can tune your guitar string up and down. Your string is matching with this pitch. Do you have it? That's E. All right. And if you don't quite have it, you can go back to that spot and redo it until you can settle in with your own guitar on the E note. Now here's the B. All right, good. Here's the G string. That's the third string. Now we're getting into the bass strings. Those were the three treble strings. And now the bass strings, the D string. Now the A. Let's check out with this to be sure. Now the low E string. So notice we have two E strings. This one, the low E string, and the high E string, just 2 octaves higher. All right, so we've learned that A is the pitch that all the instrumentalists tune to, and we've learned each string, how to tune it up, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Left, tuning it that way is going to make the string go down. Turning it towards this is going to make the string go up. We learned that if you tune it up too high, the string will tighten up and break. So listen carefully, because if it goes too taut, you know you're going in the wrong direction. And if it goes left and you go too loose, it's going to get so flabby that the string just loses its pitch altogether. So you have to bring it up until you find the pitch to match it to the pitch you're going for. So we start with A. We also learned that Here Comes the Bride helps us know the relationship between most of the strings. Here comes the bride. A and D, here comes the bride. D and G, here comes the bride. And between B and E, here comes the bride. The only exception is from G to B. That's not Here Comes the Bride. That's a different interval. Okay. So, why is this important? Well, we want to play with the guitar in tune, because then our music will sound the best. Whether we sing with it, play with a group, play with a band, play by ourselves, whatever. Tuning is something we can learn how to do, and we get better at it the more that we do it. If you need a tuning aid, they're available in the stores, but they don't help you and your ear learn how to tune. Just like a singer needs to be able to sing in tune, a tuning aid isn't going to help them. It doesn't help so much for guitar after the initial thrust that you get one. If you totally don't know how to do it, go ahead, pick one up. You can help you get the guitar close, but then you still need to learn how to tune your inner ear so you can tune and play while you're making music. And after a while, you don't need the tuner because you know how to tune. So practice makes better, always, for music, no matter what you're doing, and it's that way with tuning. So, to release your spirit that's inside of you with your body to make great music, we involve our whole self with making music. Tuning is the first step. I hope it goes well for you, and come on back to the tape as much as you need to get that guitar in tune. Thanks, and give praise to God for music and for being able to be alive. All right, God bless. Thank you.